This I made like my own hard mode versions without actually having to hack it or mod it. It's like you could do Calamity Ring, that's kind of basic. But every boss I tried to come up with an idea with the base mechanics in the game, just of how you could play it as a player to make it harder. So obviously Asylum Demon's pretty obvious, just beat it with the base weapon, the broken sword. Bed of Chaos, do it in one try, meaning you can't die and come back because it saves your progress of the whole collapsing floor and whatnot. And if you hit one side, so you're not allowed to try it more than once. You have to do it in one shot. Gargoyles, you can't cut the tail, and you have to kill both at like the exact same time pretty much. Calamite, you can't use fire resistance, which I don't think I did anyway, but I couldn't really think of a better one for that. Capra Demon, you can't kill the dogs the whole fight, so you have to only hit him. That makes it much harder in that tight room. Ceaseless Discharge, fight without running out of range. I'm not sure. That fight's kind of buggy and weird, so... But you would have to stay close the whole time, I guess that's all. Centipede Demon, stay on the starting platform, or you have to keep moving. I don't know which is really harder. I guess having to continually move across the lava and stuff would be harder. Priscilla would be a good one because that's like, you have to see her footprints in the snow, so you have to fight her off of the snow, like on the steps, so that you can't see them. You have to figure it out without that. That's a very cool one. Chaos Witch Quelag. This one you would need a mod or something for. She puts the fire down and it never goes away. So that's a very cool idea. It kind of should work like that. So as much as people say, oh, Dark Souls is so hard, think about all these basic things that they don't do, right, that they could have easily done to actually make it really hard. Gwyndolin, you can only hit once per teleport and can't use cover. You have to avoid the attacks out in the open as you run across or run around, which is maybe damn near impossible to do, but yeah, you can't use the stupid pillars. Demon Fire Sage, you can't get close, so you have to deal with his super long weapon that's easier to dodge when you're right on his ass at a distance. Ornstein and Smog, kill both at the same time. Ornstein second phase is harder, at least I think so. But yeah, killing both at the same time you can't really even do. So I guess it just means you have to get one super low and then kill the other one before you trigger the second phase. For kings, you can't kill a king. This is very cool. So you can't finish any off. You just have to whittle them all down, their collective health down, by only damaging them. That could be really hard. Gaping Dragon, I think I did some of these, but not all of them, for real. Don't kill the buff guy up top. Let him buff the dragon, and he keeps shooting at you too. So you have to avoid his shots and deal with the buff all at the same time. Nito, you have to aggro the big skeletons. You can't use divine weapons. And yeah, you have to deal with the skeletons. So even if you kill them, they keep coming back the whole time. What's the other way to prevent them from coming? Oh, and you can't let him hit them, but you can't prevent that anyway. So you have to deliberately aggro them. You can't just hide at the start and prevent them from aggroing like a lot of people do. Sif, I couldn't figure out one. You can't use parry, can't use shield, can't use fire resist. Nothing really too special there. I don't think I did those things anyway. Iron Golem, you can't knock him off, and you have to keep the guy who throws the barrels alive. See, that's a very basic idea of a hard mode that's already in the game that you might do by accident if you just don't kill the guy, but most people probably don't do it. So the guy's going to throw barrels the whole fight. You have to pull him on the bridge or avoid it somehow. Artorias, I misspelled. Allow him to power up every time. You can't interrupt it or stagger him there. So you have to just deal with it. Manus is already as hard as you're going to get, but maybe you could come up with something for that one. Moonlight Butterfly, you can only use melee, I guess, just so you have to let him land. Pinwheel, allow max copies to spawn before hitting him, or kill all the copies at first. I don't really know. Pinwheel's so easy, it's hard to come up with anything. Sanctuary, I guess that would be a lot to avoid though, because he does hit a decent amount. Sanctuary Guardian, I don't really know. Seath, you have to cut the tail, which is, you might think that makes it easier, but it's very hard to cut the tail. Stray Demon, you can't get behind him, I guess because his AoE attack can only really be avoided from behind, so it makes it a lot harder to deal with. Taurus Demon, leave the archers alive, similar to like the Iron Golem and the Gaping Dragon, the idea that they'll be attacking you the whole time you fight, so you have to avoid them and be cognizant of that the whole way. So yeah, all those things are very fun, kind of like a dynamically self-created hard mode. Most of them you can do yourself without any mods or external help too. I guess it could be hard to avoid stuff like that. Like, how do you really avoid killing the dogs in the chaos of the fight? He might even kill them himself. I'm not sure.